Good evening, class. Today we are going to be working on integers on the number line. So go ahead and get out your notes and get ready to answer some questions. So our first sentence stem says the number system blank numbers based on their type and characteristics. Well, as we learned yesterday, what we're doing is we are organizing. So organizes numbers based on their type and characteristics. So in English class, when they ask you to find an opposite, we call it an antonym. In math, we just say the opposite. So I want you to fill in the blank with opposite terms. Go ahead and pause the video for a second and see if you can get them all correct. Okay, so let's try. The opposite of agree is, I hope you got disagree. The opposite of awake is asleep. The opposite of outside is inside, and I have that extra word there. The opposite of laugh is, oh, don't do it, cry. The opposite of closed is open. Issue typing. The opposite of weak is strong. The opposite of loud is quiet. Make sure you spell that one right. Don't write quite. The opposite of safe is dangerous. The opposite of down is up. And the opposite of old is young. Numbers also have opposites. Positive and negative whole numbers are called integers, and that's what we're going to be studying today. So make sure you have all of these correct and your notes are completed. Let's go to the next slide. Place the following on the diagram. Well, we learned about these yesterday, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you to take a moment and see if you can figure out which ones are whole numbers and which ones are integers. If you remember from yesterday, whole numbers are our counting numbers plus 0. So we are going to start with, let's see, -2 is not a counting number. 4 is a counting number. Is 15 a counting number? Yes. And then we have -6. It is not a counting number. 8 is a counting number. 0, because we're adding 0. And then the integers are the numbers that are left. And these are the opposites. So I have -2, -6, and -15. Did you get all those correct? Okay. Next, we're going to look at the number line below. What do you notice about the numbers to the left of 0? Now make sure we're always writing in complete sentences. What do you notice about the numbers to the left of 0? So remember, right, left. So the numbers to the left of 0. If you don't know how to do this, if you look here at the end of this right here, the numbers to the left of 0, I'm restating the question. The numbers of the left of 0 are, and what are they? All negative numbers. So everything to the left of 0, this direction, always are going to be negative. So we're going to fill in the table. So the opposite of 6 would be -6. Two numbers 3 away from -1. Well, we start at -1, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, hopping over. And my first answer is +2. And then I'm going to go the other way. And I'm going to start at -1, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And the second number is -4. The opposite of 2 is, well, 2, -2. Good job, guys. The opposite of -5, well, if I could fold it in half on the 0, it's going to be +5 or just the number 5. If it is neither positive or negative, there is only one number in the world that is neither positive nor negative, and that is the number 0. Two numbers 6 away from -3. So start at -3, hop to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our first number is +3. And start at -3 and hop 6 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my answer is -9. How is a number related to the opposite? Remember, we're going to restate the question. A number is related to its opposite as they are the same. Big concept there. Distance from 0. Okay? It's like taking your number line, folding it on that 0, and it's going to match up. Use the number line below. Brainstorm real-world phrases that indicate positive and negative numbers. So I am going to give you a few. I want to see you come into class with more. Very important that you understand how to do this, because this is how you're going to understand what word problems are. So some words that could mean negative. If you're talking about money, it could be a debit. You use your debit card, that's negative. You could decrease, right? Withdraw, those are all negative things. Loss. Oh, what if it's an expense or a bill, something you have to pay. Down would be negative. Below would be negative. Just things like that. Okay, I've given you lots of those. What about 0? There's not very many for 0, so I'm going to give you the 2 I can think of right now. The first one is neutral, and the other one is neutron. Neutron is a science word. You guys will find out very quickly. I use lots of science words because I'm also a science teacher. Okay, positive. Well, if we're going to go opposite of what we just did for negative, what's the opposite of a debit? And the answer is a credit. Opposite of decrease is an increase. Instead of a withdrawal, we can deposit. Oops, didn't spell that right. Instead of a loss, we have a gain. Instead of an expense, we have, oh, I don't know, how about a paycheck? Instead of a bill, we get a refund. Instead of down, we could go up. Instead of below, we could go above. See if you can figure out a couple more words. Okay, the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to read these situations, and I'm going to let you do most of these on your own, and then give me a summary of today's lesson. Remember, a summary has to be in complete sentences. 2 to 3 sentences is usually good. So a football player caught a 57-yard pass. Well, which direction is that going? Are they going closer to the goal or farther away from the goal? Well, if they caught it, hopefully they're running in the right direction. We're not going to talk about bad football players. So that would be a positive thing. So that would be positive 57. Okay, so the key word I saw was caught a pass. So that went to me positive. The next one says the temperature dropped 15 degrees overnight. Well, if it dropped, it went down. Down is a negative. So we're going to say it's negative 15. Okay, I'm going to let you guys finish the rest of this. Make sure everything is done and you have your summary ready for me to check your notes when you walk into class tomorrow. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys soon.